Good morning to everyone. We are the Group 5. Universal Design for Learning or UDL is an educational framework that aims to make learning accessible and effective for all students, regardless of their individual learning styles, abilities, or backgrounds. It is based on idea that there is no single one size fits all approach to education, and it encourages flexibility in how teaching is delivered, how students engage with material, and how they demonstrate their knowledge. UDL is built around three main principles, each addressing a different aspect of the learning process. We have the multiple means of engagement, the multiple means of representation, and multiple means of action and expression to be discussed by my group mates.
Good morning, everyone. I am Grishin Gisaraos, and I will be going to discuss on why we should use UDL or the Universal Design for Learning. The first one is that UDL helps all students become expert learners. The main goal of UDL is to help students become expert learners. Students who are motivated, smart about finding information, and good at setting and reaching goals. UDL helps teachers plan lessons that work for everyone right from the start, not just for a few. Let's say for an example, in a reading lesson, instead of only using a book, the teacher also provides an audiobook or a video version. This way, students who struggle with reading can still understand and enjoy the lessons. The second one is that UDL focuses on changing the learning environment, not the student. Sometimes students struggle not because they can't learn, but because the environment creates barriers. So UDL shifts the focus from fixing the students to improving the classroom setup, materials, or teaching methods. Let's say for an example, if a test only allows written answers, it may be hard for students who expresses themselves better through speaking. So with UDL, the teacher allows the students to give an oral answer or create a video, making the environment more supportive. And the third and the last one is the UDL provides a framework to remove barriers and support flexible learning. So UDL gives teachers a guide to reduce learning difficulties by preparing lessons that offer choices and flexibility. This helps more students meet their learning goals in ways that work best for them. For example, in a science class, instead of giving only one project, the teacher gives options like create a poster, build a model, or write a report. This lets students use their strengths and interests to show their understanding. In a summary, we should use UDL or the Universal Design for Learning because it includes everyone, removes learning barriers, and supports flexible and fair learning opportunities for each other.
Now let us proceed to the three principles of universal design for learning. So, UDL describes human variability based on parts of the human brain that manage the why affective network, the what recognition network, and the how strategic network of learning. So the first principle of universal design for learning is the engagement. It addresses the why of learning. Our goal here as a teacher is to create expert learners who are purposeful and motivated. Now, when we say principle of engagement, it is all about making learning interesting and motivating for our student. It focuses on getting students actively involved and excited to learn. So it is about creating ways to grab attention or grab the students' attention and keep them motivated throughout the learning process. This can be done by offering different activities, group discussions, or fun and varied teaching methods, or connecting the material to things they care about. The goal is to make learning feel relevant and enjoyable so that all students, regardless of their background and abilities, stay motivated and invested in education. So in In this principle, we can engage all our learners by providing choice and autonomy, optimizing relevance, and minimizing threats and distraction. For example, instead of just reading textbooks, we might use videos, group discussions, or hands-on project. This helps to keep our student engaged and helps them connect with the materials in different ways. So this principle of engagement is key in making sure that every student feels involved and is motivated to participate in the learning process.
Let's proceed to the second principle, which is the multiple means of representation. Let's start with a question: how can we present information in ways that reach all learners? In our classrooms, students have different ways of understanding lessons. Some may prefer reading printed text, while others learn better through pictures, videos, or hands-on activities. This means we need to provide different ways of presenting information to make sure that every student can engage with and understand the lesson. Here are the key questions to consider. The first question is, have we considered options for how printed text, pictures, and charts are displayed? So as teachers, we must think about how we present learning materials. For example, if we are teaching about the solar system, we shouldn't rely only on textbooks. We can also show colorful diagrams. You can also play animations or use models of the planets. The second question is, what options do we provide for students who need support engaging with text and or with auditory learning? So not all students can easily read or listen to a lecture, so we need to provide other options. For example, during a reading lesson, we can read the story aloud. We can also provide audiobook or even show a video adaptation of the story. So this helps students who struggle with reading or auditory processing. For visual learners, we can use pictures, infographics, and videos to explain concepts. Instead of just writing on the board, we can display key points using colorful charts or slides. And for auditory learners, we should allow students to listen to audio recordings of lessons, use songs to teach concepts, and have class discussions. So as teachers, we must always ask ourselves, are we presenting information in different ways so that all students can understand? So by doing this, we can create an inclusive classroom where every student has the opportunity to learn in a way that works for them.
Now let us discuss the third principle of universal design for learning, which is multiple means of action and expression. This principle focuses on providing students with diverse ways to demonstrate their learning, ensuring that all learners, regardless of their abilities or preferences, can effectively express what they know. To explore this principle, we will address four key questions that guide its implementation. So the first question is, how can I offer purposeful options for students to show what they know? So the first step is to provide students with multiple formats to express their understanding. Take note that not all students excel in traditional methods like written essays or tests. Instead, we can offer a variety of options such as oral presentations, videos, creative projects, or concept maps. By offering purposeful options, we ensure that every student has a meaningful way to demonstrate their knowledge. So the next question is, have I considered methods aside from paper and pencil tasks for students to show what they know? So moving beyond traditional paper and pencil tasks is essential to engage all learners. We can incorporate creative and interactive methods such as group projects, role-playing, hands-on experiments, or digital storytelling. For instance, instead of a written report, students could create a podcast or design a model to explain a concept. These alternatives not only make learning more engaging, but also allow students to showcase their understanding in ways that align with their strengths. And the last question is, am I providing students access to assistive technology? It's important to ensure that the students have access to assistive technology to remove barriers and support their learning. Tools like speech-to-text software, screen readers, or adaptive devices can empower students with disabilities to express themselves effectively. For example, a student with dyslexia might use text-to-speech software to access written materials or voice typing to complete assignments. By integrating assistive technologies into the classroom, we create an inclusive environment where all students can thrive. So the next question is, when can I provide flexibility with timing and pacing? So flexibility in timing and pacing is crucial to support diverse learners. Some students may need additional time to process information or complete tasks due to executive functioning challenges, physical impairments, or other needs. We can provide this flexibility by allowing students to work at their own pace, offering extended deadlines, or breaking tasks into smaller, manageable steps. This approach reduces stress and ensures that all students have equitable opportunities to succeed.